Hi there, Wilmer here. I'm going to attempt to do my first how-to or how I do video. Thank you, Benny. I won't forget it. But you want to learn how to take a piece of this or a piece of this and make it into something like this or this. Stay tuned. Alright folks, I'm going to attempt to make a video here on how to make a porthole using some scrap pieces of foam left from your layout. So let's get started, and I hope I do this good for you. hope we both learn together. Alrighty. Oh, one thing before we get started. Have fun. That's the most important thing. Have fun. Biggest tip. Have fun. Alright. Okay, well, you start off with a piece of scrap. Draw the design that you want. Okay. And then try to square it up as much as you can with your square. And you can see I got a picture already started on there because I'm trying to make a mate for this one. And I'll cut these out and I'll be right back. Alright, after you got the shape that you want, which I got right here, alright, you take your sandpaper and you clean it up, especially the inside edges. They get pretty raggedy from when you're cutting it. And also sand this surface right here, alright, because you're going to be painting it, and the paint don't really want to stick too well if you don't rough it up a little bit. That's all you're doing, is roughing it up and smoothing it out a little. And then we'll go to the next step, which I will show you next. Okay, keep on sanding it. I like to get the inside edge. This one was pretty rough, but it don't have to be perfect because a lot of it's going to be hid. But you want to get the bulk of it. I hope you can see here. Even around a little bit of the edges here. Now I will tell you, this does make a mess, and if you're using the white foam, which I did do one with white foam, the white foam molds a lot easier. I will say that about the white foam, but boy, is it messy. This is messy, but it is a lot messier. So that is something to keep in mind while you're doing this. And you can see it's coming together here. And then since I'm going to be painting this, might get another piece of the sandpaper. And by the way, I got a pack of sandpaper from the dollar store, and it has different grades of sandpaper, but I got a pack for $1 at the dollar store, and perfect for what we do here. And I sand this because it does make it easier to paint later on. And you see it takes that little sheen off of here. There was like a sheen to this, and if you don't do this, it'll still work, okay? But it just doesn't. It doesn't adhere as well. And I don't know if you can see that on the camera, at how it takes that like little shine out of there. See how there's a little shine right here? See, and you just sand it a little, and it comes right out of there. And it makes it like of a dull looking. And you don't have to worry about going any one direction or anything like that, because you're making what looks like, to me, now what I'm making is not brick, it's cut stone, okay? Which, that's what, at least in my area, a lot of the train portholes was cut stone, okay? And the edges, round them a little bit with the sandpaper, because it'll make it look better when you're shaping the bricks or the cut stone. And hope I'm staying in the camera here, because I don't want to do a lot of editing. Yeah, it just isn't me. I got to edit the daylights out of it. Okay. Like I said, it don't have to be perfect, because you're going to be cutting this up anyhow. Alright, and as you can see, it's all ready to go. Alright, I'm going to pause this for a little bit here and clean up some of my mess, and we'll move on to the next step. Now, I'm going to also tell you that this isn't something that goes together fast. If you're looking for something fast, this ain't for you. You better just go buy a Woodland Scenics porthole and be done with it. But me, I'm doing it for two reasons. I'm cheap, okay, and this is a way to use up some of the scraps. Plus, it's something that I'm hand making, so I can actually say, when I do the scenery on my layout, that I actually made it all. It wasn't something that I went and bought. So, all right, let's move to the next one, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, on the next step of this, you're going to need a couple things. You're going to need your square. Nope. Let's pull this over here. Of course, you need your porthole. You're going to need, now this is my scale roller, okay? Now it ain't a metal one, but it has my scale right here for HO, okay? Now, also, I'm going to use this little plastic ruler, okay? It came handy dandy. It has my Bible verse on it. Study to show thyself approved unto God. 2 Timothy 2:15. And it's also the golden rule. Do unto others as you'd do unto you. A little lesson today. Okay. Now, and the most important tool, a pencil and a pencil sharpener. The reason you have the pencil sharpener is to keep your pencil sharp, not so that you're making a nice even line, but you got a nice point on there. Okay. And there's the tools that you're going to need. Now, first off, what you want to do is figure out how big you want the bricks. Now, I figured on mine, they're going to be 1 foot by 2 foot. Okay? That's a pretty big block, if you think about it. And I figured on here, see now on the scale, this is his scale, this is supposed to be 1 foot on the scale. I don't know if you can see it on here or not. If I put a little something, see maybe there you can see it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out for each 1 foot, it's a, whoop, let's go to the millimeter side, that makes it easier. For each 1 foot, it's a 1/2 millimeter. Okay? So, I'm going to make my lines going across this way, a 1/2 millimeter per line. Alright? So, what I'm going to do, I'll just start some of it here. Okay, and we'll get it to where we want it. And there's the first one. And real lightly, put every half, draw a little line. And for some reason I'm shaky today, probably because I'm trying to make a video. Okay, now just to get you the idea and the gist. And then take your square, like so, and take your pencil and make your lines. Okay. Another one. Another one. Another one. And another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Now you got to remember, they don't have to be perfect. For the reason is, these were, at least I think they were, hand-cut stone. Because when a lot of these, when they built these, they were built back before we had the fancy machines that we got today. And a lot of these, now they're to give you just a general idea. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Okay? Now remember, a half is 1 foot. So I said they were going to be 1 foot by 2 foot. So we're going to go and we're going to make this one right here 1 foot or 2 foot. Okay. Now that one's close enough to where I don't need to make another one. All right. At least I don't. At least in the Wilmer calculations. Now, the next one you want to make halfway, and then just take it from there, eye it up. That's just the way I'm going to do it. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I will show you here in a minute. Okay. Let me show you how that learned. Get it up there. I don't know if you can see it good. Oh yeah. All right. Now, to get really looking good, I just take the pencil and I start right here at the edge. I don't know if you can see. Am I getting this in? My big finger's in the way. I get this in the edge and I just take the pencil and you just carve it out a little bit. And get this one right here. And this one. Now, like I said, this green foam don't work as well as the white. The white, boy, it'll go through there like hot butter. Okay, this kind of, it seems like it catches in certain spots, and I will tell you, it works better as long as you keep your pencil sharp. Okay, and I use a little bit of the pencil, the lead part, and don't worry about it if it's making the lead's making it dark, because that's okay, because you're darkening it anyhow. Okay, and here we're seeing where the, come over here and we'll just get the edges right. What I like to do is take it on the edges here and just slowly make it more like a brick coming around the end. All right. You can hear, I don't know if you can hear that snapping or not, but it does snap. And then on the inside, I want to even go a little bit further. Now, I just did this by hand. All right. But I'm going to take it this way. All right. And as you can see, since this is a full brick right here, you'd have a half a brick right here. So it looks like a whole block, okay? And started as 2 block thick. Where this one, you leave alone. This one you go half. This one you leave alone. And it even more looks like, and where this really starts to come together is when you paint it, which you'll see is when I get to that point, you'll really see how it comes together. And that's how you make the brick. Now, for some reason I'm shaky today, and I don't know why. All right, but as I go on, you will find more. Okay, if you guys have any questions about what I'm doing here, leave it in the comment, and I will try to answer it in maybe one of my not bads or something like that. Or who knows, I might just make another video just to answer questions. But I'll come back here after I've got this pretty well shaped out. When I go to do the arch, I'll show you what I did here. And it's kind of a freehand thing. And you'll see what I mean. Okay, here, matter of fact, I'll just maybe start doing that now so that you see it. And I take and figure out where the bottom of my arch is. I'm gonna say right about there, okay? And I'm just guessing at it. And I'll make a mark. And make a mark over here. Okay? And I also want to try to find the center, which I didn't really measure this out. We got 5.5 inches, which would be 2 3/4 should be center, which that looks about right too. So we'll put that right there, and that's where we're going to make the keystone. Yeah, if you know what I mean by a keystone. Always there's a center one in the center there. And the keystone we're going to make, okay, we're going back to the millimeters. Remember I said 1/2 millimeter is 1 foot. So we're going to make it a 2 foot at the bottom. All right, see that? And keystones are always like slanted, so I'm just kind of eyeballing this up. We're going to make it 2 foot high. Foot. And then I'm gonna get real fancy and make a, just gonna do it this way. And just take it across there like that. And there's your keystone. And if they didn't put this keystone in, there ain't no way to keep the stone all up. I'm a lefty, so you're gonna have to bear with me. There's our keystone. And we'll just bring it down through here, like so. And we'll make that a center one. Go from there. Then the next one, I'm going to just make a, it looks going to look like almost kind of like a regular block, but it's going to go with the arch the whole way down. See? So I'm going to say, we'll say it's a 1 foot by half. Let's see here, let's go by half. Now I'm going to be honest with you. When I made the first one, I didn't measure it out. I just kind of eyeballed it up, which I think you'll find yourself doing anyhow because you get tired of measuring everything. But as you can see, I'm going to eyeball this one up. I'm going to just real lightly draw out each one. Like that. The last one, it's going to be kind of funny shape because it's the last one. And back to this side. And we'll guess at it. I don't know if you can see that or not. What I'm doing here. See it or not? Like the way it looks, you just adjust. I like them with a little bit more round to them. Like so. Because they are the arch. Same way with this here. Let's see if I can round this side a little. As you can see, what we're coming up with. Okay? Alright, I'll bring this back, as I got this pretty much close to all put together, which, believe me, it's going to take some time. I did 3 over sat on, a couple days ago. Took me 1 day, took me 9 hours to do that one, which was my first one, and it was made out of the white foam, okay? And I decided to do the other side in green foam, which I like it because it's a little easier to work with and it's not as thick. But you see how thick that is? But that was a piece of foam that we dug out of a piece of packing that was in an appliance. Okay? But you're going to see more of that because I plan on doing some retaining walls the same way. Okay? And you can see the results really look decent. At least I think so. And get it on the layout with some scenery and some grass and that, it'll look really great. So I'll be right back. And well, at least it'll be right back for you. It'll be a while for me. And show you what it looks like in the rough before you paint it. And a couple little tricks I do to make it look even more, a little more realistic. All right, see you then. Okay, as you can see, I'm back here, and I wanted to show you it when you're cutting these. If you just kind of stroke it like I'm doing here with the point, I'm finding that makes it a little easier. And then when you get to the turns, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but keeping my pencil pretty much straight up and down, and you can hear it. It actually snaps. It's like a snapping sound, and you're shaping the stone is what you're doing. And this extruded foam, or whatever you want to call it, and you're gonna probably have to go over it and pick little pieces that didn't come out right. But when you'll find out when you paint it, when you're staining it, or whatever you want to call it, washing it, putting a wash on, or whatever, it really comes to life as a cut stone rather than looking kind of fake or machine made, which some of the stuff that you buy looks like. To me it does. See how irregular some of these stone look? Like I said, you got to remember, these guys, when they made these walls and stuff, they were taking stone and hammer and chisel, and they were chiseling this stuff out. They weren't sitting there with measuring everything. If it looked right, they cut it and it fit, and that's about what it went. And you're basically doing the same thing when you're making your little porthole. And I'm just going through, and as you can see, it's just kind of just tearing it in a way. I guess that would be a way to put it, with the pencil. And I like to shape my blocks. And then on the edges, you just take it and you angle it like this a little bit, and it gives it that round look on the edge. And then up here around where I put the arch, You see I made like a, you just kind of do it like half blocks here and there, wherever it fitted in, and that's all they did. They kind of angled it and made like a half block, just like this one right here. See? I'll give you a little close up of it. Yeah. All right. Put it back down here. All right. And moving right along here. Okay. Here we are. We're back. You can see I got it pretty well the way I'm going to have it look. Some tips. Well, I didn't get this side over here done yet, but because I'm going to do the outsides here because I ain't sure if they're going to be exposed or not. And I didn't finish the top yet here now that I'm looking at it. But I wanted to show you up close. You know, if a piece falls out or something like I did over here, see, it looked like a hunk. I don't know. Adjust there. You see a little piece that fell out right there. I'm trying to get it to where you can really see it. Maybe if I use a pencil. No. Anyhow, you know, it's stone. You know, things happen. Maybe a car or something, or a stone fell down off the mountain or something and chipped that out. You know what? You just shape it out a little bit of what you can, and it'll look good when you're all done because it's stone. Stone ain't perfect. Even if they take and chisel it or cut it, it is not perfect. So, the next thing I want to show you is you can also make this look a little more realistic by taking a blunt end, and I'm going to use the blunt end of this pen, and you take it and put it on the stone. And if you can find one that is about the size of the stone, boy, that would be perfect. But I haven't found anything that I have that looks, you know, pretty close. So what you do is you just take and you push on the and make the stone a little irregular, just randomly. You don't want to do every other stone or make it look like it was some kind of, I don't like that. Let's try the butt end of this here. All right, just randomly take and push a stone in place here, you know, so that they ain't even, because you got to remember these guys were in a hurry. They wanted to get this done so they could get paid, which they didn't get paid a lot, and move on to the next one because they were putting some track down when they built these. I'll just grab a couple of them here and you'll see the difference. And you can come back later on and check this out yourself, you know. If you don't like where one was pushed in, maybe, yeah, you can always push some more in or push some more. I like to do a couple of the edges and so forth. You can maybe get one of these cornerstones. They're looking pretty rough. I had a spot underneath here where I thought, well, yeah, it looks like it's coming out of there. Maybe we'll take one of them and push it down. And it don't have to be perfect, because, like I said, it's stone. It ain't perfect. If you can hear what I said, it's stone. It ain't perfect. But no, I pushed a little too hard and it let loose. Look. So what we'll do is we'll just take that. Whoa, looky there. It tore out of there. And it's going to look like maybe something hit that. And, pencil here. That'll look real cool. That'll look real cool. That'll look real cool, like a stone withered away there, you know? Yeah, buddy. But you can see the gist of what I'm trying to do. And I'm going to be honest with you people, I'm having a blast making these. Some people don't have the patience for it, but neither do I usually. But this is something I'm just having a lot of fun doing, because it's not laying track or soldering joints or wiring, the things that I don't like to do. Yeah, you know what I mean. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You can see what I'm doing here, and there's no actual pattern to anything. It's just doing it, you know. And get that right there. Make it look a little bit. If you're using one of these, watch you don't jab yourself like I just about did there. You just want it to make it look not so perfect. You know what I mean? There is no such thing as perfect, except for in the Lord God, and He's the only thing that's perfect. And surely, definitely isn't me. And I'll dig that out a little bit so it don't look so. Maybe push one of these right there. There, that there looks like he needs to go in there pretty good. Push hard. Yeah. And it gives it the not so uniform look. So you see what I'm doing. Now the next thing, when we come back to it, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to paint it, and that's the next step. So I'll be back in a little bit. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this part of my how-to or how I, because it might not be the right way, but it's working for me. I'm doing this in 2 parts. I'm going to give the second part will be the next video that I do, and it'll be on painting it and getting it together. Might even try a little bit of weathering it of some sort, and we'll do it together. And thanks for watching, and if you like, hit the like button. Comment, please comment. If there's something I could do better, let me know. So, yeah, I'm open to suggestions. I learned how to do this from watching a couple videos. Don't ask me who I watched, because I don't remember. It was one of you guys. But yeah, and it might be a combination of a couple of you guys. So I hope you take something from it and use it and can use it. Stay tuned for the painting part and the finished part, and we'll go from there. And thanks again for watching my channel. I'm so pleased. And may the Lord bless every one of you. Thank you.